Good evening, everyone. We're diving into the latest news of 2024, and one headline that's making waves is about Donald Trump's growing concerns regarding the Supreme Court. Reports suggest that he's genuinely worried that the court might rule against him in both the disqualification cases under the 14th Amendment Section 3 and the ongoing criminal case in Washington, D.C. Now, where did we hear this first?
That's right, Bernard. Maggie Haberman initially broke this story, and it has been reported by several sources since then, including The Independent, so it's safe to say this isn't just a one-off rumor. Trump seems to be genuinely concerned about how the Supreme Court might rule on state ballots. This adds an interesting twist to the ongoing legal battles.
And it's not just the Supreme Court that's been on Trump's mind lately. He's been quite active on social media as usual. But what's different this time is his narrative about what happened on January 6th. According to Trump, and this is what he's been reposting, he now claims it was an insurrection, and he wanted to invoke the Insurrection Act. The twist here is that he's saying Twitter prevented him from doing it. What do you guys think about this?
It's certainly a unique take on the events, Karen. Trump's posts have been quite something to follow. He's been sharing content from a far-right account called DC Drano. According to Trump, Twitter deleted his public request for people to go home on January 6th just 5 minutes after he posted it. Now, that's an intriguing claim to say the least.
And to add to the intrigue, there's another layer to this narrative. Trump's argument here is that Twitter's actions further incriminate him. Why? Because he admits it was an insurrection, which is the prerequisite for invoking the Insurrection Act. So, this raises questions about whether Twitter was trying to thwart his attempt to comply with these requirements. But it's essential to note that this claim doesn't align with the historical facts about the Insurrection Act.
Absolutely, Tom. The Insurrection Act has been in place for over 2 centuries, and it doesn't have any prerequisite that you first have to call for disorderly citizens to go home on Twitter or any other platform. So, this raises significant doubts about Trump's narrative. But there's more to this story.
Indeed, Bernard. The connection between Trump and the Oath Keepers is another aspect we can't overlook. They were waiting for Trump to invoke the Insurrection Act, and it's a connection that raises questions about Trump's involvement in the seditious conspiracy of the Oath Keepers. This could potentially lead to serious legal consequences for him.
And let's not forget about the evidence presented during the seditious conspiracy trial of Stewart Rhodes and his subordinates. They are now making songs with Trump, including one called the J6 Choir Song. It's a bizarre turn of events, considering they were once seen as hostages during the January 6th events. This whole situation is getting more complex by the day.
Indeed, Karen, and it's not just Trump who's involved in this narrative. James Comer, part of the Republican Party's Oversight Committee, has a different perspective. He's been downplaying the insurrection narrative, calling it false. This highlights the division of opinions within the Republican Party regarding the events of January 6th. It's clear that this issue is far from settled.
Before we wrap up, folks, it's important to remember that this is an ongoing and developing story. We'll continue to keep you updated as new information comes in. And as always, we hope you enjoy our talkradio.ca broadcasts. We are a not-for-profit service, providing up-to-date news in an unbiased, journalistic fashion. Please subscribe and like to make sure we reach our audience. You might want to play an entire playlist, produced each day with our best content. These stories are ideal for long road trips or as a daily current events update during morning coffee. Enjoy!